Welcome to my bathroom. Welcome to unflattering lighting. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I think I'm in frame. I don't know why I'm ducking down. Anyway, today I'm just gonna film a get ready with me and chat because I've just had a lot of stuff on my mind, and I've learned that these chatty videos really help me sort of decompress, even if I never end up posting them. Because I filmed a few get ready with me type videos and never actually posted them. And this also gives me more content if I'm ever in a pinch and don't have any good ideas. So I'm just gonna start putting on my makeup for the video that I'm going to be filming for next week. Oh my god, it feels so weird. It's triggering. So one of the things I did want to talk a little bit about is where I am with my current edits in Trail of Flames. So I haven't really mentioned it. Well, I think I mentioned it on Instagram stories or something, if you guys follow me on Instagram, which you should, because that's the social media I'm most active on. And I think I mentioned that I finished going through beta reader edits, and this has been an ongoing thing. Like, I've been working on them for, I think, at least a couple months now, and it's taken me so long because, one, I'm really busy and don't have a ton of time for writing stuff, story of my life, blah blah blah, wah. The other part of that is because one of my beta readers went into really in-depth analysis. Not analysis. She was really in-depth with her suggestions. So what she did was like a mixture of sort of more broad suggestions about certain scenes and concepts or whatever, and line edits. And so I had to go through, and I did this with every beta reader who sent me like a full manuscript with edits in it, but hers were really in-depth, whereas other people's were much less in-depth. I don't fucking know. Much more shallow? Is that the opposite of in-depth? So yeah, that took a while, and I actually found it really, really useful. And normally I wouldn't go through line edits. Like, you shouldn't go through line edits, like really small detail stuff, until after you've obviously finished the entire manuscript and have it like done enough that you're almost ready to publish it. But I did in this case because she really helped me tone down just extra words that you don't need. It's not that I don't think I'm a super wordy writer. Like, I don't put a lot of like flowery bullshit and extra descriptions that no one cares about, but she did really help to make it much more concise. So that took a long time to get through. And the funny thing is, I've seen some writers who are very like they're really big on sharing these milestones pretty much as soon as they happen. I've seen people film full dedicated videos to them finishing their first draft, them finishing this type of edit, that type of edit, whatever. Obviously, people will probably do like a dedicated video for the release date or the publication or something. But to me, I just didn't really feel like it was necessary. This is, I guess, my I finished beta reader edits announcement, and it's a get ready with me. And I don't think these usually get a lot of views. Well, I shouldn't say that because I think I've only posted one. What do I have to work from? But yeah, and I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with sharing that kind of stuff. For instance, I saw another author tuber, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to make it seem like I'm calling them out. Let's get dramatic. That I'm making fun of them or something, because I'm not. I know they posted like when they finished their first draft or something, which is a pretty big step, and it's usually really worth talking about. And they filmed the video, they were like, they set up their camera next to their laptop as they were finishing it. And then I think they actually started to cry. And I'm not making fun of them and not saying that those types of feelings are invalid, because finishing the first draft really is, for some people, it can be really emotional because it's something that you've probably been working on for years and you're just like, I'm done with this part. I don't know, I finished the running section of the triathlon. I don't know how triathlons work. This person filmed it and they did get emotional. And I wasn't like, dude, chill out. I thought about it from my perspective and I was like, should I even film that? Like, is that something that's worth filming? And in my mind, I was kind of like, nah, not really. And at some point I could do like a dedicated video to like my editing process more in depth if you guys wanted to see that. Yeah, open your eye when you're sticking a brush in it, you idiot. But for me, it just wasn't really worth doing a dedicated video about finishing my edits, because for me, I just had such like a work-oriented brain where I'm really used to, once I finish one thing, It's just kind of like breathe a sigh of relief and move on to the next thing. I don't really spend that much time like celebrating small things. I guess the only thing I can equate it to is some people get really, really excited about their birthday and they're all about it and they want the whole world to know that it's their birthday. And then there's other people who literally don't give a shit about their own birthday and don't care at all about celebrating it, don't care who knows it. And that's, I guess, how I feel about certain milestones when it comes to writing. But to me, as nice as it is to be done with that part of the editing process, I didn't really feel like talking about it that much because I was kind of like, all right, we got that done, moving on. But yeah, I did finish and that is exciting. But my next step, see, that's just how my brain works. That was exciting. Next step. The next step for me is to, I compiled all of the beta suggestions, the ones that I agreed with, and especially ones that a majority of my beta readers said, you should change this or you should add to this, whatever. I made smaller changes as I went along, especially if it was like, this sentence doesn't make much sense because that's redundant or something. Like I changed those things as I was going along. But now I have much more big picture things to change, particularly with like plot and character development and certain settings, stuff like that. And so I've compiled them. I think I made a list of like 13 items, 13 things that I need to change, develop, whatever. And so that's my next step, really. And I've started to do it, and it's kind of hard because my brain just wants to be like, can we be done with this? Can this project be done? And it's not done. So the answer is no. We have to keep working on it. But that's where I am at the present moment. And it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to at least have one more thing checked off the list, I guess. But there's still plenty of work to be done. And I keep telling people, a lot of people have asked when Blood of Fire, why am I trying to look at you when I'm doing eyeshadow? Jesus. A lot of people have asked when Trail Flames will be published. I don't have a date yet. Still don't have a date. If I had a date, I would tell you the date. I would be announcing that shit from the rooftops. Figure of speech. If I started screaming that kind of stuff from the rooftops, I'd be arrested. Probably. I still have it in my mind that I want to publish it this year, 2019. And it's already middle of June? What the hell is today? June 27th. So we're actually at the later part. The end of June, the year's technically halfway over, and I'm still trying to get the big picture kind of stuff taken care of. It's not discouraging, but again, I know I've talked about this in other videos where it's really hard not to compare yourself to other writers and to try sort of like brainwash yourself into thinking like, oh, they have this many books published and they have this many followers and they're probably making this much more money than me. There's something wrong with me. But it's like, it's a process. We all do things at our own pace. But I've been doing a lot of really toxic comparison stuff in my brain and I'm trying really hard not to. But it's hard because I've been very busy at my 9-to-5 job, and it's making it hard to chill the fuck out, I guess, because I just want to be done, and it's hard when you have so many other obligations that prevent you from being at the place that you would like to be, which is, you know, published and just working on like marketing or whatever, working on the next book. And it's hard not to be like burnt out from writing when it's just like, it's just taking so long. I'm not spinning my wheels, but I just feel kind of stuck in the mud and I'm just very slowly inching my way out of it in order to finish the project. Speaking of comparison, I've been trying so hard not to compare myself to other YouTubers. And it's really hard. It's really weird calling myself a YouTuber, but I guess I am if I'm on YouTube and doing it regularly. I don't know why I struggle to say that word. I consider myself, I guess, a booktuber and an author-tuber. I don't believe that you should have to choose one thing over the other, but from a branding perspective, people usually say, you know, stick to one kind of thing, especially things that are related. But to me, it makes sense that a writer would also talk about other people's books, or that a book lover would eventually be a writer. So I think they're connected enough that I can consider myself both. I tend to watch a lot of other booktubers, and it's hard when there's some who've been on for maybe a couple months and they have so many more followers and whatever. And it kind of always makes me wonder, what am I not doing that they are doing? And that's a really bad mindset to have. And I don't want to like sound too complainy about it, but again, it's that stupid online comparison thing that's really hard. It's a really bad habit to get into, and it can be really hard to get out of it. I do often wonder, like, what should I be doing instead with my content? Should I be doing something different? Is there some sort of secret that I just haven't figured out? And I don't think there is really a secret. Sometimes it's a matter of just having the right content at the right time. I think a lot of YouTube and bookish success can be just plain luck. And of course, a lot of it is talent. There are definitely people who are putting out much more interesting content than I am and being much more themselves. And I think that's the really hard thing that I struggle with. It's not that I'm not myself on YouTube, it's just, it's always like, what level of myself do I want to be? For instance, I like being really sarcastic, and I swear a lot in real life. I swear a lot more in real life than I do on my channel. And I don't want to be like a potty mouth on YouTube, that's not what I'm saying, but I don't ever want to seem like I'm trying to copy someone else. Or suddenly, like, what if my much more confident, authentic personality comes out and people think that I'm faking it? But I don't think that's the case. I think, in my opinion anyway, most of the YouTubers that I follow are, I think it comes down to like two things or a combination of these things. One, they have a personality that I really like, and or two, they create really high quality videos. And there are some people who literally just sit in front of a camera. They don't have like excessive lighting, they don't have backgrounds, they don't really have much music, their editing is very basic, but it's just like their personality is so engaging that you like watching them. And there are people who really upscale editing and film skills, and you like them because you're like, wow, they actually try really hard. And that's admirable, and that's interesting and entertaining, and blah, blah, blah. There's some people who are like one or the other, and there's of course people who do both. They're really interesting people and they try really hard. But I think when it comes down to it, I definitely, in my opinion anyway, think that personality weighs more than video quality or editing skills or whatever. I would much rather watch someone who's engaging and interesting and entertaining and has interesting, funny, or smart things to say, or all of the above, that'd be nice. But they don't necessarily have like Spielberg quality videos. I guess that's why I started talking about my personality. Because I mean, everyone has a personality that can usually be summed up in a couple words. Like, oh, she's really bubbly. Oh, he's really blunt. Like, they, you know, certain traits that were like, oh, so-and-so is like this. So-and-so is like that. And I do too, but I feel like there's some videos I can tell, and it's usually because I'm exhausted. Because I film my videos after I've already been working a full day's worth of work since like 4:45 in the morning. Or at least doing stuff since 4:45 in the morning. I don't start my day job at that time. But it definitely shows in my videos where I'm like I've edited some videos and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that I was in a terrible mood and I was exhausted. I'd only had like 5 hours of sleep and I'd had tons of work at my day job. And it shows in my video, and it's really hard when you're like, okay, I need to get my personality going. We need to actually try harder, try to be awake, try to be interesting, try to sound smart. Especially when I'm doing author tube type stuff, because I feel like you have to try a lot harder to sound like an expert on stuff, even if you're not, and you're just sharing what you do. What's the word I'm looking for? Your process. So I think that's just one thing that's kind of gotten me down. I'm just kind of like, maybe people don't like my personality. And then I watch some of my videos and I'm like, my personality is not adequately displayed in that video. It's really fucking hot in here. Whew. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what kind of videos do you prefer to watch? Not necessarily, like, the content per se, but, like, do you like to watch people who are more of a personality, they're entertaining, or do you really think that video quality is much more important than being, like, an engaging, interesting, funny, sarcastic, whatever kind of person? Gesturing a lot. That's not helping the hot situation going on. Pardon the hair, by the way. When it's hot, I can't stand to have my hair down, but I can't style it except like in a ponytail or down. So I do these braids and they don't look that great in my opinion. I look like Pippi Longstocking down here and like Page Boy up here. Ignore this. If you're thinking like, damn, what the fuck's wrong with her hair? I try to not make my head hot. Having long hair is basically like having a fucking blanket on your head all the time. But anyway, speaking of it being hot, it's summer. Summer's my favorite season. I almost said holiday. When you don't have summer vacation anymore, you don't have summer holiday. But the thing is, like, summer to me has always been associated with a lot of this feeling that I've had. My husband described it really well, just sort of that feeling of like the endless summer, air quotes. And especially when you're like a kid, it just feels like summer goes on forever and you're just hanging out with your friends, having fun, Of course I stabbed myself in the eye. I hate this mascara wand. Fuck. That's gonna look great. Raccoon eyeballs over here. But anyway, you know, you're out having fun with your friends, summer vacations going on, and that's just how summer is to me. Or that's kind of what it was to me, because I don't have summer vacation anymore. I'm an adult. Womp womp. This mascara. I have the worst luck with mascara. Do you see this? It has a little like spiked ball on the end. I don't know if you can see this. I don't think my camera autofocuses. Fuck if I know. But yeah, there's like a spike on the fucking end of it and it just jabs me in the eye. Why I keep using it? Well, because I bought it. That's the worst thing about makeup is like you don't know if it's actually going to work until you waste your money on it and then stab your eyeballs out and then realize you don't like it. But then you're stuck with it and you keep using it anyway. Anyway, summer. Can we stay on topic for longer than 2 seconds? Nope. Living here in Utah has reminded me a lot of New York in the sense that people hibernate in the winter, and in New York, winter is very long, and they all kind of come back out in the spring, and that's sort of what's happening here. It wasn't like that in San Diego where the weather is just like perfect pretty much year round. But now people are coming out and there's much more activity, there's stuff to do, they're setting up like events and this and that, and it makes this weird extroverted side of me come out. A part of me that doesn't want to hibernate and avoid the world. Who is she? We don't know her. I don't know this extroverted person. And also I think part of that comes from the fact that I work from home, which is very isolating. I do want to film a video at some point about what it's really like working from home, assumptions versus reality. But yeah, now that there's actually like people out and about and stuff going on and everyone's come out of hibernation, trying to shed their winter fat. We're all bears now apparently. It makes me want to get out and do things. And that kind of sucks when you don't have summer vacation and you have to keep working and doing this and that. But I'm trying much more than I usually do to actually get out and do things and meet people. I've been trying to meet friends on an app, which feels weird. I mean, I did the online dating thing, and that worked out, because I'm married now to someone I met online. But I'm using Bumble, and I didn't know until I saw an ad that Katie Morton, she's a YouTuber who's also a therapist, and she shared on her Instagram that Bumble has, you know, the dating version, a friend version called Bumble BFF, and then like a networking version. There's a towel behind you. Excuse me, I need to dry my hands. And I've been trying to meet people on there, and a lot of them have the same sort of story. I just moved to the area. I work from home. I'm a busy mom or something like that. I'm not a mom. Well, my fur child is somewhere. He's moping somewhere. And they're just kind of like, it's so hard to meet friends as an adult. And I agree. I don't know how people do it. Especially if you don't go to work or go to any sort of like church kind of stuff, like things that force you to interact with people, or if you don't have a lot of family around. So I'm trying. Aren't you proud of me? I'm trying to get out and be a sociable human being a little bit, but it's slow going. I have a couple minutes left in this clip, but so I guess that's where things are. I'm still working on edits with my book. I'm still an introvert. I'm still unable to style my own hair, and I'm trying to sort of enjoy summer as much as I can, considering how much I work and the fact that I don't really have friends or family here. The only friends that we did make in Utah actually just moved to Texas, so we're kind of starting at square one in that sense. I don't want to end this on like a poor me note, but yeah, it's kind of nice to be in sort of an unusually good mood just because it's summer. It is getting very hot now that it's June, so it's in the high 80s and 90s Fahrenheit, obviously. Yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy what I can, trying to find more reasons to get out and socialize, or at least be out in public and experience some new things, even if it's just like going to a farmer's market, going to one of the stores in town I've never been to, eating from a food truck. Comment below what your favorite summer activity is. Comment where you are with your current writing endeavors, if you are an author watching, or writer, or whatever. And comment below if you can relate to the whole struggling to make friends as an adult thing. Hi puppy! Do you have a comment? Hi babes! I want to get going in there, Mom. Oh, you can barely see him. Right there. Alright, that's pretty much all the time I have left in this clip. I have to go film a different video. I'm gonna film my first unhaul, so you're probably gonna see that video before you see this one. So it's kind of like you're traveling through time with me. So yeah, comment below any of those things, anything that you related to in this video. If you'd like to keep up with me on my writing endeavors, I'll leave my social media account links, whatever, below in the description, as well as a link to my self-published debut novel, Blood of Fire. So until next time, see ya!